We've been having a little fun behind the scenes, so we're starting off with me laughing. Her name is Emily Ellis, and she is fun, exciting, and very well branded.
I definitely have carved a unique pathway in nursing, and I couldn't imagine being anything else. Yes, keep going, keep going, keep going.
What gives you like the good feelings in those moments?
We had it good, and I want to bring some of that, all that magic to 2026.
Can I see a character?
Let me show you how it's done. That hair, toot toot, fabulous. Those earrings, toot toot.
Oh my gosh! Well, I got Tootie Mill on the line here. I got her on my show.
Toot toot.
She's great. I love
she
her.
Got a little whistle.
Ridiculous.
That will be amazing.
Okay, we're doing it.
I love it.
We're doing it.
All right.
You're listening to the Sandbox Collective Podcast, hosted by Leilani Wells. I'm a creative director and content marketing strategist, and this show is for the builders, innovators, creatives, and entrepreneurs creating in real time. Come tap in, get inspired, and move right into action. Welcome to the Sandbox. Let's play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sandbox Collective. We've been having a little fun behind the scenes, so we're starting off with me laughing. But we are here today. I'm really excited about this guest today. Her name is Emily Ellis, and she is fun, exciting, and very well branded, matching our furniture and everything. And she's also known as Nurse SillEE. So we're going to dive into what that is today. We're going to talk a little bit about her mission, a little bit about her, learn about her and her life. And I just, I can't wait to dive into that. Tell me a little bit about Nurse SillEE.
So Nurse SillEE is the face of my health literacy curriculum for kids. Nurse SillEE is a board-certified nurse practitioner, and she teaches children easy ways to maintain their health. So my health literacy curriculum, it's based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so we start with the foundation, the basic needs, making sure that they know how to perform proper hygiene. And hygiene means more than just keeping their body clean. It's also their mental health, their emotional hygiene, sleep hygiene, oral hygiene. And so it starts with that foundation. And the goal is to work our way up to self-actualization and build healthy, strong children into healthy, strong adults who critically think and, believe in themselves.
I love that. Now, I saw Nurse SillEE. I saw a little bit about Nurse SillEE, but I wanted to kind of be spontaneous and learn more about you real life, so I didn't do a ton of that. And I saw her on YouTube, and I was mesmerized by just the different things you had going on, like visually and stuff. So it makes sense that you are really reaching out to the younger generation and looking to serve in that way. What are some of the things that you do as far as like how you reach them? Like, is it via YouTube only, or do you have other ways that you?
So I have my YouTube series, Life SillEE Lessons, and that's one way I reach out to the kids through my sketch series. But I also have the SillEE Kids Club, and SillEE Kids Club it's full of the strongest, smartest, healthiest kids around, and we get together about 3 to 4 times a year, and we have SillEE Kids Club parties, and we learn a lesson, we laugh, and we have just a blast. So it's been a lot of fun throwing those parties. I love to throw parties outside of Nurse SillEE as an adult, and so this allows me to throw parties at a different level. But it's the SillEE Kids Club and my Life SillEE Lessons series on YouTube.
How long have you been doing this for?
It's been about 1.5 years in the making, and so I'm just now ready to kind of take it to the next level. But a lot of planning into the focus, who I wanted to reach, how I wanted to deliver the message. I have a really creative mind, and so on my YouTube series, there's different characters. Chemical Cam, Emily E with the SillEE News Network, Chef SillEE, and they all represent
Chef SillEE.
Chef SillEE, yes. They all represent a different facet of my personality.
You're playing all these characters.
They're all me, yes.
Oh,
and they all represent.
Can I see a character?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Chemical Cam here. Nurse SillEE, do you need help? What's going on?
Chemical Cam, what is water?
Well, let me tell you. Water is H2O. That's right. Two parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, and they combine to make water. It is the healthiest liquid on earth, and you should drink at least 3 cups of water a day, at least, to stay healthy. Yes, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh my gosh, wait, that wasn't water. That was sulfuric acid. Oh, Nurse SillEE is gonna kill me. I'm so clumsy. It's okay, I'll go get the antidote. Be right back.
That was fun.
Chemical Cam, she's very chaotic. She's very clumsy, but she is a science nerd. And when she gets her act together, she's super smart. So.
I love that. Lisa's going to mess me up if I messed up my lipstick.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I love that. So you do 5 of these characters.
So I have Chemical Cam. I have Emily E., the news anchor with the SillEE News Network. I have Chef SillEE, and I also have Tootie Mill. And Tootie Mill is the train conductor, and she believes in everybody making sure that they toot their own horn, and she'll toot yours for you. So being humble, but also knowing who you are is really important.
That's so important. That's so important. I was having that conversation with someone the other day. I was like, how can you help anybody if you're being so humble and, oh, no, me, but pump someone else up? Well, okay.
Yep.
Pump
you
yourself
have
up.
to, it's a balance. No one likes a cocky person. But there is no shame in knowing it. You need to know who you are, especially in this world. People go out of their way to humble you. I've experienced it. And so it's really important that children and adults have that solid foundation of, I know who I am. So whatever you over here talking about, I'm sorry, that don't have nothing to do with me, because it's easy to get caught up in someone else's projections.
So good. I'm still on the 5 different characters too, and what you do. Did they develop over time?
They did over a few months. So, like I said, each character represents a different facet of me. I have a bachelor's in biomedical science. That's where Chemical Cam comes from.
Yeah.
My middle name is Camille, and that's what I actually go by. That's what my family calls me, Camille. So that's Chemical Cam. I love to cook, and I like to make crazy things. So I'll make, I'll just sit in the kitchen and say, what can I just throw together? And I'll end up with something like Frankenstein spaghetti with lasagna noodles instead of spaghetti noodles. And so that's Chef SillEE. Emily E. from the SillEE News Network. That's my professional side. I have to code switch it up and change my voice a little bit. And then Tootie Mill is that I know who I am, and I'll never let anybody tell me that I'm less than, that I am, I'll never accept anyone treating me like I'm less than or belittling me. So they all were I was very careful in how I created them. And so it didn't really take time once I decided on what parts of my personality I wanted them to represent. Yeah. It was quick once that happened, but
so they all kind of came the same time frame.
Same time frame. Yep. So when I was thinking about how I wanted my show on YouTube to be, I was raised on like All That on Nickelodeon and Kenan and Kel.
I was gonna say you reminded me a lot of that.
Yes, that's what I was raised on.
I don't know if she's that generation. But okay,
I am that generation. And so honestly, I feel like we had it good, and I want to bring some of that All That magic to 2026 and Gen Alpha and all of the newer generations. And so that's kind of where my sketch series comes from, like Pierre Escargot.
It really did remind me of that.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. That's very cool. So how did you, so you are an actual nurse.
Yes, I'm a family nurse practitioner.
And so how did you decide I'm going to become a nurse? What's that story?
Honestly, it's a little random actually. So, my mother is a nurse. My grandmother, also a nurse. If you would have asked me when I was a teenager, do you want to be a nurse? I would have said, absolutely not. And so I went to college my plan was to be a pharmacist. And I worked in a pharmacy at Walgreens in high school and through college. And when I graduated, a lot of jobs were research-based. And I'm super social. And I'm like, research, if I do research, I'm going to be bored. If I keep working in this pharmacy, I'm going to be bored. I like to help people. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go into nursing. And when I actually told my mom and my granny, my mom immediately was like, you're not going to be a nurse. You don't have the temperament. And my little feelings were hurt. And I was like, what do you mean? But I definitely have carved a unique pathway in nursing, and I couldn't imagine being anything else besides a nurse.
Wow. That's beautiful. What do you think it is about being a nurse, like when you're present and you're going through your actual work day, like when you're walking the halls or going to a room, like what gives you like the good feelings in those moments?
Knowing that my touch, my care makes a difference. Once my mom got over the fact that I'm actually going to be a nurse, she said, just make this promise that you treat everyone like that as your brother, your sister, your father, your mother. You treat every patient as if that's your family.
She must have been a really great nurse.
Both her and my grandmother are amazing, amazing nurses. And so I took it to heart. And, knowing that we might have 10 nurses working on the shift, but guess what?
Yeah.
Nurse SillEE's patients are always, their hair is always slicked back, their lips are always moisturized, their skin is always lotioned. And so just knowing, and the patients appreciate it. And so just knowing that I really make a difference in these people's lives and their care. That's what gives me those warm, fuzzy feels.
Yeah. Nurses are so important. They're so important. I don't think people realize how important nurses are until they spend time in the hospital, and not just themselves, but with loved ones, and go through that. Like,
absolutely.
Like nurses will carry you through stuff. And I've have stories with wonderful nurses. My friends have told me stories about wonderful nurses. I have a sister that's a nurse. I mean, I just think the world of you guys, and I feel like most, I've heard crazy stories, but I rarely encountered anyone that was not really like loving and, you know what I mean? And great at what they do in that profession. So thank you for being in that profession.
It's an honor. It's my pleasure. Like I said, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. So what was your childhood like?
I had a wonderful childhood. I had 2 amazing parents. I had tons of amazing aunts, uncles, wonderful grandmother. I couldn't have asked to come from a better group of folks.
It's beautiful.
My family, we are quite the blunt group. So we, but regardless of whether we speak our minds and we get over it, we speak our minds, we say what needs to be said, but there's no love lost. So I realized once I got into the real world that, the love that I experienced in my family, the love, the communication, and not just love, but that unconditional love that, you might have messed up, but I still love you. You really got on my nerves, but I still love you. What's for dinner,
Yeah, I'm not going to leave you.
I'm not going to, And I always knew that regardless of what I did, what I was going through, if I didn't have anybody else in this world, I had my family to go back to.
Wow.
And so when I moved out to the Metro Detroit area, I, realized how really blessed I am to have had that growing up. I honestly took it for granted. I guess I just assumed that this was normal, and I now realize that it wasn't. So I come from a really big family, and awesome group of men and women.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you have siblings?
Yes, I have 2 brothers. My younger brother is, he is 6 years younger than me. And so I'm the middle. And then my older brother, he passed away 3 years ago, but he was 4 years older than me. So, so.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You were how old when he passed?
I was 33.
And he was how old?
37.
37.
No, I was 32, and he was 36. Yeah. So, So there was a 4-year age difference, but he passed away unexpectedly, and so that was when I really, I realized how any given second life can be over. I don't want my story to end right now, but if it did end, I want to make sure that wherever I am, I'm leaving an impact. And so when he just recognizing, how abrupt your life can end, that's really what led me to create like the Nurse SillEE series, and to it really pushed me into my passion.
Did he have kids?
He did. He has 3 boys, Braylon, Reese, and Lewis Jr. So yes, they're at home. Actually, can I give Reese a shout out? His birthday.
Of course
his birthday's
you can.
tomorrow. I want to say happy birthday to my nephew Reese.
I love it. I love it. So you're an incredible auntie. I know that much.
Now that I have more an opportunity to be a incredible auntie, I take every chance that I get. I do live 3 hours away from my parents. On the east side of the state, and so, but whenever I get the opportunity to pick them up and have a sleepover, and the last time they were over, Chef SillEE, we made chocolate chip pancakes with all kinds of crazy toppings, whatever toppings they wanted, and chocolate waffles, and just all kinds of fun stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So when you have the, can I ask about the characters again? I have to ask.
Of course,
okay.
yes.
Okay. So Chef SillEE, like what is, because you're branded for Nurse SillEE, right?
Yes.
So do you have different brands for each?
So
Or are they
Chef
all the
SillEE,
same?
she's
Chef SillEE.
Chef SillEE. Her focus is on silly snacks. So
Okay.
my mom always had a great after school snack for us, right? She would make pizza bagels or, something. So I want to make sure that kids have healthy snacks to eat and snacks that they can create, not necessarily needing, a lot of labor and effort. So, apple nachos, just some nachos with a little honey and some, chocolate chips or some coconut on top. So Chef SillEE, she takes your favorite snacks and she makes them healthy and you have silly snacks. So that's her role in that.
That's cute. I love that. Do you find like when you're looking at the YouTube comments, because you're mostly on YouTube, and I'm thinking like, what is it you found people as far as like who's looking at your content? Because I would think that it's not just kids. I would think that it's people who are feeling that whole what is it called, nostalgia of the Nickelodeon kind of vibe, and just that feeling of feeling that fun and interesting adventure and curiosity and all the colors and the characters. I think that a lot of people can enjoy it, and honestly, a lot of people can learn about hygiene in life, not just kids. You're
never too old to learn about hygiene.
No, right?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my series it's for anyone, not just for kids. I am on YouTube Kids, and so I don't get a lot of interaction because YouTube, the comments are turned off. But I do get feedback, and you might laugh at something because I'm still a 37-year-old adult woman, so I make little side jokes, that adults teens will find funny. Yeah, with
that'll keep us coming to the movies.
Exactly. So it's Nurse SillEE is for everyone. Nurse SillEE is for anyone who wants to learn, and so.
Well, what's next with Nurse SillEE? Like, what are some of the goals that you have for her, the direction for her to go, for how you can get even more reach and expanded to help these kids?
So my goal for 2026 is my Everything's Hygiene series. It's going to launch April 1st. And my goal is to really build that series because it is the foundation of my curriculum. And so I'm focused on really building that curriculum. I am hitting the schools. I go straight. I'm a foot soldier, so I'm in the schools asking for a presentation to do a presentation, whether it's a science experiment that Chemical Cam can perform to teach them about oral hygiene, or just a quick SillEE lesson to teach them a different topic. But my goal is to really push the hygiene series in 2026. And I'm also working on a physical product that I don't want to give too much away, but that will release November 1st. So just in time for Christmas.
What can you tell us about the physical product?
The physical product is going to support independence of personal hygiene. It's going to really pull the entire hygiene series together, and it's going to give the child the independence and autonomy to manage their own health. And it's a way for them to not only manage their own health, but also create their own personal care plan. So I think as much as I don't want anybody to snatch it from me.
No, don't do that. Don't tell too much. That's awesome. So, I love. Really hey, the whole purpose of it is enough. That's pretty to know right now. That's really cool. We know you as Nurse SillEE and all the incredible characters that you do. which I might want to jump back into character again.
Anytime.
Okay, randomly even.
I love it.
But I'm so curious as to what you're like doing day to day. Because Nurse SillEE is new. So do you have like a nursing job in the daytime that like you can share a little bit more about?
Absolutely. So I am a nurse practitioner for the Department of Corrections. So I provide care to incarcerated patients. And I've taken care of male incarcerated patients, females, and also juvenile detention patients in the juvenile detention center. So a stark contrast from Nurse SillEE, but you know, I have always lived by, you know, my granny, she taught me to root for the underdog. That's how I say. And so, you know, always trying to find the most underserved population and be a light in that area. So
That's amazing. That's huge because you did it for juvenile detention centers as well. How long did you do that for?
I did juvenile detention for about 2 years. And honestly, it was emotionally taxing because I really wanted to do more. For me, it's really hard to see a child who is kind of in like the worst situation possible and not be able to do everything I can to help them. I wanted to do so much more, and obviously my hands are tied with my scope as a nurse, with rules in juvenile detention. But I did it for about 2 years, and then I switched over to adult populations.
Yeah, I love that you do that, or did that during that time. I had a situation when I was younger, and I was put in juvenile hall illegally. And I say illegally because I didn't commit a crime. I was a teenage runaway, kept running away from home. And one of my parents found this judge that was literally putting teenage runaways in jail. Oh, wow. And that's against the law. So they had to have us in a separate unit when they put us there. But I remember him asking me when I was in the courtroom, you know, when you get out, you're going to be in jail for 30 days. And when you get out, do you want to go home with your parents or with your mom, or do you want to go to a placement home? And I was so mad and felt so betrayed. And I said, I'm going to a placement home. And so the judge just sent me off, and then they took me to this back area before the bus takes you off, and they shackled my ankles. So it wasn't just like handcuffs. And the shackles weren't on long because I think whoever was doing it felt weird about it. But like, I think I don't know what it was. I feel like the judge was in cahoots with someone because why are you doing this? Why aren't you like seeing why the kids are running away? Why do you just,
exactly.
He didn't talk to me. Nobody, there was no mediation, nothing, just in the courtroom in a bus, like off to jail. And then the process of being booked into jail, I have very difficult veins to find. So it was highly traumatizing because they do the same exact process of the strip search kind of situation, but then they need to test you for diseases and stuff. So they couldn't get my veins, and they were just digging and digging and digging in both arms. And they put me in this like cell before they transfer you over to the main one that they were going to put us in, which they wanted to like try and cover, you know, CYA the situation. So they had us on the same in the same jail, but in like a separate little unit. And basically, before you get to that unit, they put you in like this holding cell with the toilet, just like a real, you know.
Yeah, I think that's
crazy.
That was one of the things that really bothered me the most about juvenile detention is seeing children criminalized at the same level as adults. And I just think, you know, for children who they don't have the authority to make their own decisions until they turn 18. And so I believe that there should be a heavier focus on the why. Yeah. Why are these children committing any crimes? Why are these children running away? Before we criminalize them or make it punitive. A lot of kids come from unfortunate circumstances. Yeah. And it really takes one person to say, are you okay? What's going on? And I just think criminalizing that, it just does, it'll never sit right with me. But,
no. it's almost like they're not criminals, but you can actually create a criminal by doing that. And because for me, it's like I had to battle this mindset. I mean, I'm 46. I went and talked to an attorney recently, and they're like, I'm sorry, you passed your limit at 40. You could have done something at 40. But this was the first time I was able to process it in therapy enough to actually try. And I saw the judge on Instagram where all these other kids were speaking up and saying stuff upset, and found out he was involved in some other criminal activity. So I just felt like, oh, okay, maybe, but so I feel like to your point, like this is something that creates not just the situation like, oh, poor kid, like, yeah, I got bruised up, physically from them digging. Yeah, I was in a cell that night, but like the physical ramifications of that are nothing compared to the mental ramifications that they do to people by doing that. And as a Black woman, as a little Black girl, we already are fed, that, oh, this is where you're going to wind up kind of thing, or this is one of the things that could happen to you. And the whole, worthiness stuff and all of that stuff. So, I think you're doing such important work, and the aspect and the place that you're coming from, how you're pouring in with your heart and the way that you are, from everything you've shared about yourself. I know that you've changed impacted a lot of people's lives in that experience, and I would, venture to say in every single place that you've worked at.
I think any employer that I've worked at will absolutely, without a doubt, if they hear Emily Ellis, yes, the one thing they're going to say, you might consider me difficult, right? But really, I'm very passionate about everything I do, because I promised to treat every patient like that's my mom, my brother, my sister, and I take it to heart. And so I am always behind the scenes advocating for what is right. What can I do to, if I see a patient maybe not being treated at the, highest level, I am behind the scenes advocating. And also, if a patient is just sitting in front of me, I'm listening. I just want everybody to know that if you could be in the worst situation in your life, you could be here for murder, you could be a child who is, incarcerated for whatever reason. And if no one has ever sat and listened to you talk, if no one has ever asked how you're doing, how was your day, Nurse SillEE will. And that is what I really, I hope to convey with my brand, is that if you're ever feeling alone, because the love that I received growing up was, I have so much to pour into others because of how much I was given through my family. And so my goal is to say, for everybody to say, at their lowest, if they don't have anybody to talk to, Nurse SillEE, you can talk to Nurse SillEE. You can listen. Nurse SillEE will listen. I want that to be. I want the expression of love to really be the face of my brand. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I love hearing a story of somebody who grew up in a beautiful home with love everywhere, with community, all of that. I think that's another aspect that we don't talk about enough, is people who have those stories, because, it is, shock value and all these things when we have the opposite story, but what do we have to see to aspire, or, to really know it exists, and we don't, everyone doesn't have to create it from scratch. It's not just this generation. It's just that every household is different. Yep. There's different circumstances out there. And the fact that you had that love is just beautiful, and we want to, when we go through stuff, we do want to create that typically for the next generation. So having people around us that, have had a really nice family, you can just really like lean on, what was that like? Okay, I'm going to implement that into my family.
Yes.
Okay. Or they can call you up and be like, that's a little dysfunctional.
Right.
Yeah. No judgment, but
absolutely. No, like I said, I am so grateful to my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, and not that it was no family's perfect, but what I do know is that I was loved, and I think that is the best. I think that's the best compliment a child can give the people that the people that raise them. I know I was loved, and that alone keeps me sane in this world that's just kind of chaotic, especially right now.
So I have to ask, and let me know if you don't want to talk about it, but I would like to know, like, because from the aspect of having a, family who is, moving in a functional, non-traumatic type of style, and love, when your brother passed, how did you guys all handle that? Because I've seen people lose a child, but usually I've seen, okay, there's all kind of other stuff they've been dealing with. And, what was that like?
So when my brother passed away, it was a shock to everybody. My mom, she gave his eulogy, which
wow,
I don't even know how she did
Wow.
it because I couldn't bring myself to speak. And we leaned on each other. I mean, there were times where I lived 3 hours from my parents, and one day I called them and I just needed them there. And even though they're 3 hours away, we leaned on each other. And honestly, the way I cope is I go within, but Nurse SillEE was actually born from the fact that, oh man, and I think I might have said this earlier, but it was Nurse SillEE really popped into my brain after I was leaving a work trip and I was in the airport and I was grieving my brother, and I'm like, oh, this is just, I feel like it was just a lot going on, and I wanted to be brief, knowing that my brother's his story kind of got cut short. And I really I created Nurse SillEE to make sure that even, you don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what can happen to you or anyone else. And so when it comes to me and my story and my, my work life, I want to make sure that I can leave this world saying that I impacted at least one person, or I did the best that I could to share the love that was put into me and my brothers and my cousins, by my parents and our grandparents. And so, his death was traumatic, but at the same time, it really pushed me into my passion, which is Nurse SillEE. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm so sorry that happened. And thank you for sharing that. And, I think that for you, it's beautiful what you take from what you've gone through in your life and all your experiences and make it into something. Not just the difficult stuff, but the good, the difficult, the everything. You're looking at all of these different aspects and saying, okay, this is that way. What can I do with it?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You're creative.
Very creative.
You are a creative.
And one thing that I love about my Life's Silly Lessons series, the show, is that it's an escape, Yeah, it's an escape for me to, if I'm having a bad day, you know what, let me go ahead and put my train conductor suit on and toot my horn. Like, I might have to put my suit on and stand in front of a mirror and be like, you are amazing, okay? I know they were trying to play with you.
I want to hear this. Is the next character I get to hear right now?
Tootie Mill?
Yeah, I want to hear Tootie Mill.
Well, Tootie Mill, let's see. Tootie Mill is really strict about her time, so,
okay.
Let's see. And she's a little gruff, too.
Okay.
But, she's got a little bit of a southern accent, She likes you to toot your horn, and if you can't toot it, she's going to toot yours for you. So it's just, I just play with the little
Okay, well, let me see her.
accents.
Let me see her. Let me see her.
All right, well, look here. You got about 5 seconds of my time before the next train comes through. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
About me?
Yeah. What's the best thing you can say about
The
yourself?
best thing I can say about me.
Come on now, girl. You got to hurry up.
Oh my gosh! Well, I got Tootie Mill on the line here. I got her
so
on my show.
Okay, well, let me
That's
show
the
you.
best thing right now.
Let me show you how it's done. That hair, toot toot, fabulous. Those earrings, toot toot, fabulous. The set, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you are amazing, and I want you to always know that you're amazing. And the next time you come on my show for Tootie Mills, I want you to be able to say it for yourself.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Toot toot.
Toot toot.
Now go ahead and go, because next train's coming up.
I love that.
So yeah, Tootie Mill is all about just loving yourself, because I think, again, everything's hygiene, and I think the more you affirm yourself, the more that you are able to look in the mirror and say, I'm that girl, I'm great in all my imperfections. I'm that girl. The more solid you are as a person, and then with all the extra stuff that's going on in the world and people, you can't really be moved. You can't really be, you can't really be bothered when you know who you are. So
What a great.
toot toot.
She's great. I love
And she's
her.
always got a little whistle. I love Tootie
I love
Mill.
it. And speaking of how gorgeous I look, okay, I have to give a little shout out right now. I have to do a little commercial break to this gorgeous necklace by Nikki B. Jewels. Nikki B. Jewels sent this for me to wear today. So I just want to say thank you. I'm going to make sure to include her link in the description as well. I love it. Look, you can actually like take it and like move it a little bit and turn it. Isn't that neat?
It's
and then you want to feel
abstract.
it? It has this.
Oh, I love it.
You can move it. Here, hold it.
See. So you could actually like create different styles from it. Like it's not just one.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, my stylist took it and put it in this specific style, so it moves and shapes. We could have done like a choker. We could have done full around, all kinds of things. But I love what she did.
it.
I love what she did. So Nikki B. Jewels, thank you so much. And you guys check out her jewelry. I've been wearing pieces all week. Like this is not the only piece. Amazing, amazing pieces. So yeah. So, what do you dress like when you're not Nurse SillEE? I gotta know. I'm curious. What's your personal style like?
But it varies because I do love to get dressed up. I love to put my face on and put on a cute little dress and have a night on the town. But I'm also quite a tomboy, and so I love me a 2-piece jogger. Some cute sneakers. I like to be casual. So I'm a jack of all trades. That's why I'm kind of like my 5 characters. So it just depends on what we're going to do. So I like to dress up. I like to dress down. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. You and I should do, I have a character that I only brought her out once. I have a character on TikTok and I've been waiting to like figure out like when I'm going to do, like bring her back out. But I would love to, after this, I'm going to show you her character. We should do a little character development together. Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be
awesome.
fun. She's an old lady. I have a gray wig that I wear and everything.
Really?
And so you could be
it.
one of your characters and I could be
Emily E with the SillEE News Network interviewing her.
Oh, see, that's funny because she's a news lady too. So we could be talking back
There you
and
go.
forth. And my glasses that I wear are red when I'm her.
Mine are
and
purple.
Yours are purple?
Yeah,
oh, that's
when I wear-
perfect. It's
yeah.
a different colors back and forth being ridiculous.
That would be amazing.
Okay, we're doing it.
I love it.
We're doing it.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Me
so happy
too.
you came. It's so nice to meet you. This was a great time.
This was awesome.
And and you matched. So we're going to run off and take some photos of you next. You're doing incredible things for people. That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay. Well, share with everybody where they can find you, what you want to talk to them about, when they come to find you, what's current right now.
Yes. So you can find me on YouTube at Life's Silly Lessons. That's the name of my series. And you can also find me on my website, www.nursesillee.com. If you have any silly kids, or if you're a silly kid, because you're never too old to be a silly kid, you can sign up for the Silly Kids Club and become a member and participate in all of the fun learning that we have planned for 2026. We have trips to the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. We have all kinds of things planned for 2026. So I am super excited, and I hope you are too. So www.nursesillee.com or Life's Silly Lessons on YouTube.
I love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Okay, Sandbox friends, that's it for today. In the meantime, head on over to the Sandbox Collective Podcast.com. And also make sure you check out our information in the description or the show notes all about our sponsors and our guests below. See you next time.